In an increasingly interconnected world, global headlines continuously reverberate across borders. Today, the diplomatic chessboard sees heightened activity from Geneva to South Asia. In Geneva, two crucial but distinct negotiation processes underscore the multifaceted geopolitical realities. U.S.-brokered peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, along with Iran and the United States nuclear discussions, are the focal points of international attention. Let's delve first into the dialogues concerning the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The second day of trilateral talks has come to an end with anticipation rather than resolution. Described as difficult by negotiators, the talks did not yield a breakthrough. However, these discussions have not been in vain. Some military issues and potential ceasefire monitoring showed signs of progress, holding a glimmer of hope for those yearning for peace. Participants are cautiously optimistic that these advancements on the unit level might inform upcoming rounds of negotiation. The stakes in these talks cannot be overstated. A diplomatic resolution could pave the way for a ceasefire or an eventual settlement, altering the trajectory of a conflict that has caused immense human and economic devastation. The war's shadows loom large over Europe, seeding uncertainty across the continent's energy landscape and testing the international community's diplomatic prowess. Moreover, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's warnings about potential new Russian attacks further underscore the complex backdrop of these negotiations. Zelensky flagged the possibility of large-scale strikes on energy infrastructure, emphasizing the volatility of the war and the imminent risks to civilian safety and regional stability. These security threats could compound the challenges diplomats face in negotiating without the specter of violence. Switching gears, Geneva is also the setting for the latest round of indirect nuclear discussions between Iran and the United States. Here, the climate is markedly different. Iranian diplomats have reported good progress in establishing guiding principles for a potential nuclear agreement. This progress, while preliminary, is a pivotal step in a region teetering on the edge of volatility. The intricacies of these negotiations are compounded by broader regional tensions. Yet, a potential agreement could reshape regional stability, alter the contours of U.S.-Iran relations, and influence the diplomatic framework governing sanctions. The world watches closely, hoping that a breakthrough might herald a new era of cooperation, ensuring security and diplomatic engagement prevail over hostility and suspicion. Turning our attention to South Asia, we witness a significant political shift in Bangladesh. Tarique Rahman, a key opposition leader, has been sworn in as the new prime minister following a decisive victory in the recent elections. Rahman's rise to power marks a significant transition and holds substantial implications for regional politics. As he assumes leadership, Bangladesh stands at a crossroads with potential avenues for governance reforms and adjustments in its international relations. Observers suggest that Rahman's leadership could redefine Bangladesh's political landscape and its role on the regional stage, with the potential to influence diplomatic alignments and policy priorities affecting millions. Further afield, U.S. military actions in the Caribbean and the Pacific present a contentious topic. Recent reports of American strikes on small vessels in these waters have sparked heated debates, focusing on the legal and procedural frameworks governing such operations. The strikes aim to combat illicit trafficking and narcoterrorism, reflecting broader U.S. security concerns in these regions. However, the operations have not been without controversy. Questions abound regarding the transparency, legality, and strategic rationale behind these military actions, encapsulating a broader debate about the United States' role and responsibility in maintaining regional security. These military maneuvers challenge the balance between decisive action and due process, a balance critical in fostering long-term regional stability and trust. In each of these global narratives, we find threads of diplomacy, governance, and security inseparably intertwined. As these stories develop, they will define international relations and shape the futures of millions across the globe. In Geneva, the hope for peace amidst conflict and nuclear diplomacy echoes the world's desire for resolution and safety. In Bangladesh, the promise of new leadership stirs aspirations for progress. And across the sea, Debates about military intervention underscore the complexities of addressing global threats. Critical junctures such as these demand our attention and understanding. They remind us of the interconnected nature of our global community and the common challenges we share. As the world engages in these dialogues, every step towards resolution represents not only progress in isolated conflicts, but hope for a more stable, secure, and just world.